Yo, what's up, Dividend Nomads? Did I just mess up and make a huge mistake? Or did I do something right? You guys tell me. Last night, I sold one of my major positions in my income portfolio. And started a new position in my income portfolio as well. And also have a new experimental position in a different portfolio that I want to share with you guys. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm an American who been living abroad for another 20 years, and I talk about making money from dividends and different investment strategies and things like that, so you can live free from a 9 to 5. Like me, I'm here in Makati right now, in Manila, where I've been for a couple months, and I stay all over Asia here, China, other places. But anyway, right now this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Manila. And I'm going to take you into my phone, share with you what my brokerage account, what's inside. I'm going to take you behind the scenes into the spreadsheet, share with you guys what I sold and what that actually looks like on paper, the sale, and how what actually happened with that and the new positions. So first, let's dive into the phone, and I'll share that part with you, and then we'll get into the details later. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Let's open up Charles Schwab. Okay, so this is my Freedom Now account. This is my income portfolio. That's why it's called Freedom Now. It generates income to live off of. But that being said, I do have another portfolio. I have a retirement portfolio here, a Roth IRA. You can see it's $67,000. And I have another portfolio. It's just stability. It's kind of like storing emergency cash. And that's my Freedom base. And also have another experimental portfolio, which I'll share with you guys in a moment. But first, let's look at Freedom Now, because this is where I made the big change. So you can see the value is $73,045, and you can see I have $54,278 in cash because I sold a major position in the portfolio. If you view all the positions, I'll show you what I got now. I've got SPYI, which is NEOS S&P 500 covered call ETF. It just sells out of the money covered calls on the S&P 500, and just pays each and every single month. See, I've got 155 shares of this. Next, I have SCHX. Now, this one isn't an income play. This just helps the portfolio keep growing, because a lot of the cover call ETFs that provide income now, they can stay flat or stagnant, and some of them can badly erode the NAV depending on which ones you're invested in. But SCHX is not that. This is just the S&P 500. This is just Schwab's version of VOO pretty much. And this is to keep the portfolio growing. Okay, I got 257 shares there. Next, I have QQQI, which is the NEOS NASDAQ 100 high income ETF. So this is the same thing as the SPYI thing, but this is just selling cover calls on the NASDAQ. Now, after doing thorough research, I decided that I'm actually going to probably sell this one, and I'm going to replace it with the new one that I just started the position in. So the new one that I just started the position in, that's going to actually replace my QQQI, and it's actually going to replace the thing I just sold, probably. That's going to be TDAQ TDAQ. This is Tap Alpha's cover call. Is a 0DTE cover call ETF on the NASDAQ 100, but they pay each and every single month. They do not pay weekly, but they're still doing the 0DTE out of the money calls. So 0DTE means 0 days till expiration. So each and every single day they open up a covered call on the NASDAQ, but that is not at the money, it's out of the money. So that means this has a lot of upside potential. And so this one is my new position that I plan on using to actually replace QQQI. And then SPYI will be my backup income for this portfolio. The three core positions pretty much, it will be TDAQ, SCHX, and SPYI. And that's all I have. You see what's missing? If you've been paying attention to the channel, you would know I've been investing in XDTE for a long time. And I finally sold it after a year or more than a year of holding that ETF. And today I'm going to share with you guys what that looks like on paper and how much money I've made so far this month. But before we do that, I'm going to show you guys my other portfolio here in Webull. This portfolio it's just an experimental portfolio where I run experiments. And this one, you can see I have SpaceX and I have CHPY. This is Yomax's Chippy. This is they still cover calls on semiconductor stocks and things like that. And this pays each and every single week. And I started a small experimental position in here because it's an experiment to see if it deserves space in my actual income portfolio or not. But this is a very, very small position. I just started a few days ago. I started with 8 shares at $74, and you can see it's $69 right now. And actually, the night market is 67. It's falling even more. So, bad timing maybe, but I wanted to run an experiment and see how it works out. But I'm also doing covered calls and cash secured puts and stuff in this portfolio, and I locked in some profit on one of those. I'll share with you guys that in my options video if you've watched that one. But anyway, now that you know what we're holding here, let's go behind the scenes. Look at what this looks like all on paper right now. Since a lot of these are new positions, it's not going to look pretty, but I'll share with you the sale of XDTE and what that looks like as well. So let me record the screen on my computer. I'm going to take you guys in here. Let's record the entire screen. Okay, 3, 2, 1, bam. Okay, let me make this bigger so you guys can see. I can't see it either, to be honest with you. Okay, so here are the stocks that are providing income, and I'm going to share with you guys a full income report. So anyway, we have CHPY, which I just shared with you guys. If you look on the middle here, there's 8.8 shares, and there's my cost basis. The next one I have is QQQI. I told you about that one already. There's my number of shares and my cost basis there on the right, 4227 is the number of shares. SPYI, the NEOS, S&P, I told you guys that already. So these are all the things that I have in my brokerage account that I share with you guys. This is TDAQ, TDAQ, the new one that's going to replace, or I plan on this replacing my XDTE and replacing QQQI as well. And then my final position, SHX. So actually, most of these are all brand new positions for the most part. When I say brand new, like this year or this past couple months, and you'll see that in a moment. But right now, if you look here really quickly, I'll just share with you guys on the returns. It's not pretty. Chippy is down 5%, which this is brand new. I just started this last week, so it needs time to do its thing. You can see it's less than 1%. QQQI. Pretty new. I can't remember how new, but I'll share with you guys in a moment. We'll see that in a minute how new it is, but it's negative 2%. 3% of the portfolio. SPYI is 5.72%. Total return, positive total return. It's 11% of the portfolio. And we have TDAQ, which is the new one. It's down 1.5%. I've yet to receive any dividends. I just opened a small position because I do believe the market is probably heading in a downward trajectory from what I've seen. And that's one of the reasons why I actually sold XDTE, because I don't have much faith in these big stocks that are carrying the market, because they've, like, the first ones have already reported and they weren't very good. And we got some big heavy hitters coming this week as well with what's coming. We got these semiconductor these memory stocks like SanDisk and Samsung. These big ones are coming. And then we have the top tech stocks, Meta. Who else is coming this week? There's like 3 or 4 of them that are reporting this week, and I don't have much faith in it. And the thing is, with these cover call ETFs, the market can drop heavily, and they're capped on the upside. It's hard to recover, and that's one of the reasons why I decided I would go ahead and get out of XDTE, because if there is a big market sell-off, it's going to struggle to recover, and it was already down a little bit because I've held it for so long. So I decided to get out for now. SCHX, we're up 8%. And then if you look at the very bottom, you will see I've got, where's my cash here? 73% of my portfolio is in cash. So that shows you how bullish I am on the market. I'm sitting in a lot of cash right now and not really getting a lot of income coming in right now because of that. Really quickly, I'll show you guys the dividend log, and then we'll cover the sale of XDTE. So on the dividend log here, this is, you can see here 2025. I didn't have any of these stocks here at all in 2025. In 2026, I did have XDTE, but I sold it. And I had it for, most of the year and some of the year of 2025 as well. So I had it for over a year. And then SPYI, you can see here, I've had it for the entire year so far. I didn't have it last year. I got it in January. And these other ones are all brand new positions pretty much. They've only had for a few months. So, so far for the month of July, I received $9 from CHPY, 26 from QQQI, 81 from SPYI, nothing here on TDAC, nothing on SCHX. This one pays quarterly. And then if you look over here though, I do have some other income I'll share with you guys. Right here, it's this 839. This is from XDTE, and also my my cash I received from selling puts on DRAM, because that's income. So I put it here under sold positions because I sold a put. So I put that there. So anyway, I've got a total of $956 so far for this month. I plan on selling some more puts to get some more income before this month is over. So I'm going to probably get over $1,000 here this month, which is about what it costs me to live here in Asia. And the portfolio is still doing its thing there in the background. So now here's where we're going to get into the sale of XDTE and share that with you guys. So if you look here at these are the ones I sold previously in 2026. But you can see here, I'll put it at the top so it's easy to see. XDTE, I sold this on the 27th, which was yesterday. I sold 1,176 shares. And you can see my cost was $40.37. And then if you look over here, my sale price was $38.25. So, about $2 per share loss on the market return. But you can see I did receive 13,750 in dividends, which it's over $1,000 a month. And I told you guys it cost me about $1,000 a month to live here. So if you look at here, the market return, it was negative 2,500, but the total return was positive 11,255. So pretty much it would be enough to live here in Asia. But the thing is, your capital would have depleted a little bit by $2,500, your initial capital. So if you were to reinvest that, say if you reinvested that $2,500 to keep a flat NAV, then my dividends received that I could have actually spent would have been more like around $9,000, which is not enough for a year, a year's worth of income. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to sell it, because I seen some of the other things like TDAQ, for example, about $70,000 invested will get you $1,000 a month in dividends, and you can actually spend all that with the NAV growing at the same time. So you can take 100% of the money out and spend it, as opposed to having to put something back. And the price is about the same. I think you need about 60,000 in XDTE to get $1,000 a month, which 10,000 more in TDAC, but I can keep all the money and I don't have to reinvest or nothing like that at all. And so it just seems more hands off. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to get rid of XDTE and go with TDAQ instead. But I haven't put the money there yet because I do anticipate the market to continue falling. So I'm kind of slowly spending a little bit here and there. On red days, I'm buying a little bit, not a lot, and I'll slowly build the position out instead of one lump sum. But as far as XDTE goes, I exited that with a 23.69% total return, so almost a 24% return on my money. So, I did get a decent return. 24% return is nothing to laugh at. It's a pretty good return. The market usually gives you 8 to 12% per year, and I got 24% by putting my money in XDTE. So it did what I wanted it to do. It helped the portfolio grow by a large amount, and it stayed relatively stable and provided income. So overall, I think it did a wonderful job, but I'm transitioning to a different stage in my life where I might rely more on this money. And so I want to make sure that I'm in something that can continue growing while providing income. And so far, TDAQ has done that, even though it's only been out for like 10 months. I think it came out in September of 2025. So almost a year now, but not quite. But so far, the track record looks pretty good and has outperformed QQQI and SPYI and other similar type cover call ETFs. Is outperformed them like by a lot. And so I think they're doing something right over there. So I decided I would give it a shot and go with it, because after all the research I did and all the comparisons I did, it seems to be superior to the other ones in terms of providing income while also growing in the NAV price or growing in the share price. So that's the decision that I came to. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments down below. What do you think? Did I make a mistake by getting rid of XDTE and switching to TDAQ? And if you want to see a more in-depth video about TDAQ to see where I got this information and how I did the research on all this to figure all this stuff out, that this is a decision I wanted to make, let me know that in the comments below as well. And I'll try to make that video for you guys and share with you guys more details about TDAQ and why I decided to make that choice. So that's all I got for you guys today. Maybe later when the market opens. It's still early now. Market's not open. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon, but maybe later when the market opens, if I decide to open an options trade, I'll share that with you guys. But right now, there's a lot of stuff happening in the options with the one I want to sell. Like, so I want to sell cover or cash secured puts on DRAM or DRAM, DRAM. But there's a lot of stuff happening in the market next few days. We have today and tomorrow, some of the big names in DRAM are reporting their earnings, which could cause the stock to move a lot. And then also we have the Fed meeting on Wednesday, which can cause the market to move a lot. So there's a lot of volatility, and there's a high chance of possibly making a mistake when it comes to dealing with options, especially on something like DRAM, because it's highly volatile and some of the names are reporting earnings. So I might steer clear of it until Thursday. Maybe Thursday, then I'll get back in, let everything play out and see what happens before I make a decision. Because I don't need the money that bad to just make a big mistake. That's why I stayed out of it yesterday. So anything else you guys want to know, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all take care.